Boys and girls, we're here for the Teacher Read Aloud of Fly, Eagle, Fly, an African Tale. It's retold by Christopher Grakowski and illustrated by Nikki Daly. Now, you've already listened to the story, or you should have yesterday. If you didn't just listen to the story, go back and do that. Today, you're going to listen to the story, but I'm also going to ask you some questions that you should be thinking about, and then you can discuss with an adult if you have someone that's reading with you today. Okay, the genre is a folktale, and they are stories or legends from other lands and are handed down from one generation to the next. So this is a story told by someone, and then it just keeps getting passed down from generation to generation. Where is the story from? Right, it's from Africa. It's an African tale. It says it right in the title. Question of the week that we're going to be focusing on: what behaviors are unique to different animals? So we're going to be learning about some behaviors of an eagle, but also of another animal. All right, let's get started. A farmer went out one day to search for a lost calf. Now, calf is a baby cow. The little herd boys had come back without it the evening before, and that night there had been a terrible storm. He went to the valley and searched. He searched by the riverbed, he searched among the reeds, behind the rocks, and in the rushing water. He wandered over the hillside and through the dark and tangled forest where everything began, then out again along the muddy cattle tracks. He searched in the long thatched grass taller than his own head. He climbed the slopes of the high mountain with its rocky cliffs rising in the skies. He called out all the time, hoping that the calf might hear, but also because he felt so alone. His shouts echoed off the cliffs. The river roared in the valley below. What makes this story seem like a folk tale so far? Go ahead and pause. Well, so far the characters, they don't have names, and the animals seem to be important to the plot of the story. And the plot is where the problem and the solution take place. He climbed up a gully in case the calf had huddled there to escape the storm, and that was where he stopped. From there, on the ledge of a rock, close enough to touch, he saw the most unusual sight. An eagle chick, very young, hatched from its egg a day or two before, and then blown from its nest by the terrible storm. He reached out and cradled it in both hands. He would take it home and care for it, and home he went, still calling in case the calf might hear. He was almost home when the children ran out to meet him. "The calf came back by itself," they shouted. He was very pleased. He showed the eagle chick to his wife and children, then placed it carefully in the warm kitchen among the hens and chicks and under the watchful eye of the roosters. "The eagle is the king of the birds," he said, "but we shall train it to be a chicken." So how does the storyteller describe the eagle chick? Go ahead and think about that. Go ahead and pause if you need to. Well, if I go back up and reread to get some clarification, I can see in the first paragraph towards the end, he saw the most unusual sight: an eagle chick, very young, hatched from its egg a day or two before. So we're talking about a baby just hatched from its egg. So do you think that this baby would be able to care for itself? You're right. Probably not. So it was important that this man came along when he did. Okay, let's go to the next page. So the eagle lived among the chickens, learning their ways. His children called their friends to see the strange bird, for as it grew, living on the bits and pieces put out for the chickens, it began to look quite different from any chicken they had ever seen. Why does the eagle start acting like chickens? Right. Well, the farmer places the eagle with chickens so it learns the way chickens behave. Do you think that the eagle has forgotten how to be an eagle? I think that's a question we're going to explore. All right, one more thing. I want you to silently reread page 162 and look at the illustrations on both pages. Okay, so go ahead and pause and reread that paragraph to yourself. Okay, now that you have reread the paragraph on 162, I want you to think about, what reaction do people have when they see the eagle? What are those people doing? Right, I see smiles. They're laughing. They're laughing at the sight of the eagle. Why do you think they're laughing? Well, I think they're laughing because the eagle, as it's gotten older, looks nothing like a chicken. And they're starting to realize that it's probably not a chicken, even though it acts like one. All right, let's go to the next page. One day a friend dropped in for a visit. He and the farmer sat at the door of the kitchen hut. The friend saw the bird among the chickens. "Hey, that's not a chicken, it's an eagle." The farmer smiled at him and said, "Of course it's a chicken. Look, it walks like a chicken, it talks like a chicken, it eats like a chicken, it thinks like a chicken. Of course it's a chicken." But the friend was not convinced. "I will show you that it is an eagle," he said. "Go ahead," said the farmer. The farmer's children helped his friend catch the bird. It was fairly heavy, but he lifted it above his head and said, "You are not a chicken, but an eagle. You belong not to the earth, but to the sky. Fly, eagle, fly." The bird stretched out its wings as the farmer and his family had seen it do before, but it looked about, saw the chickens feeding, and jumped down to scratch with them for food. "I told you it was a chicken," the farmer said, and roared with laughter. Okay, what does the farmer conclude about the eagle? So the farmer is the one that found the baby eagle chick, and he's the one training it to be a chicken. Okay, well, he concludes that the eagle is a chicken because it walks, talks, eats, and thinks like a chicken, even though it doesn't look like one. Why does the friend want to prove the eagle is an eagle? Go ahead and pause. Well, he says, "You belong not to the earth, but to the sky. Fly, eagle, fly." The friend believes the eagle is going against its nature, or how it normally acts, by staying on the ground all the time with the chickens. Okay, so the next day the friend comes back. "Farmer," he said, "I will prove to you that this is no chicken but an eagle. Bring me a ladder." With the large bird under one arm, he struggled up the slippery thatch of the tallest hut. Remember, we've learned that eagles are pretty heavy. The farmer doubled over with laughter. "It eats chicken food. It thinks like a chicken. It is a chicken." The friend, swaying on the top of the hut, took the eagle's head, pointed to the sky, and said, "You are not a chicken, but an eagle. You belong not to the earth, but to the sky. Fly, eagle, fly." Again, the great bird stretched out its wings. It trembled, and the claws that clasped his hand opened. "Fly, eagle, fly," the man cried. But the bird scrambled out of his hand, slid down the thatch, and sailed in among the chickens. There was much laughter. Very early next morning, on the third day, the farmer's dogs began to bark. A voice was calling outside in the darkness. The farmer ran to the door. It was his friend again. "Give me one more chance with the bird," he begged. "Do you know the time? It's long before dawn. Are you crazy? Come with me. Fetch the bird." Reluctantly, the farmer went into the kitchen, stepping over his sleeping children, and picked up the bird, which was fast asleep among the chickens. The two men set off, disappearing into the darkness. The friend is not giving up on this. So, where does the friend take the eagle? Well, he takes the eagle to the top of the tallest hut. He says he wants to prove to the farmer that the bird is an eagle and not a chicken. He hopes that the eagle will take to the sky, but what actually happens? Right, the eagle sees the chickens down below and slides down the hut and ends up among the chickens again. Okay, so the friend asks for one more chance. Okay, this will be the third time the friend is trying to get the eagle to fly into the sky instead of wanting to be among the chickens. So the friend gets there early and says, "Come with me." I think that they're going to take the eagle somewhere else. Do you think that that will help getting the eagle away from the chickens? Well, let's find out. "Where are we going?" asked the farmer sleepily. "To the mountains where you found the bird. And why at this ridiculous time of the night?" "So that our eagle may see the sun rise over the mountain and follow it into the sky where it belongs." They went into the valley and crossed the river, the friend leading the way. The bird was very heavy and too large to carry comfortably, but the friend insisted on taking it himself. "Hurry," he said, "or the dawn will arrive before we do." The first light crept into the sky as they began to climb the mountain. Below them they could see the river snaking like a long, thin ribbon through the golden grasslands, the forest and the veld, stretching down toward the sea. The wispy clouds in the sky were pink at first, and they began to shimmer with a golden brilliance. Okay, it's happening. They might not make it. Sometimes their path was dangerous as it clung to the side of the mountain, crossing narrow shelves of rock and taking them into dark crevices and out again. They were both panting, especially the friend who was carrying the bird. All right, where is the friend taking the eagle? Why do you think they need to go at night? Okay, so he's taking the eagle to the mountains where the farmer found it, and they go at night, so the eagle may see the sun rise over the mountain and follow it into the sky where it belongs. So the friend insists that they need to be there by sunrise so that the eagle can see it and know its place. How does the friend's plan to go to the mountain relate to his other attempts to teach the eagle to fly? So think about what he did each time he tried to get the eagle to fly. Think about that. You can pause if you need to. Well, I think he wants to bring the eagle to a high place, because remember, he lifted the eagle even though it's very heavy in the sky, and then that didn't work. He went up to the roof, and now they're going up to the mountain, which is higher than both of those places. So I think he wants to get the eagle higher than the roof at his second attempt. At last he said, "This will do." He looked down the cliff and saw the ground thousands of feet below. They were very close, near the top. Carefully, the friend carried the bird onto a ledge of rock. He set it down so that it looked toward the east and began talking to it. The farmer chuckled. "It talks only chickens talk." But the friend talked on, telling the bird about the sun, how it gives life to the world, how it rains in the heavens, giving light to each new day. "Look at the sun, eagle, and when it rises, rise with it. You belong in the sky, not to the earth." At that moment, the sun's first rays shot out over the mountain, and suddenly the world was ablaze with light. The gold sun rose majestically, dazzling them. The great bird stretched out its wings to greet the sun and feel the life, giving warmth on its feathers. The farmer was quiet. The friend said, "You belong not to the earth, but to the sky. Fly, eagle, fly." He clambered back to the farmer. All was silent. Nothing moved. The eagle's head stretched up, its wings stretched outwards, its legs leaned forward as its claws clutched the rock, and then, without really moving, feeling the updraft of a wind more powerful than any man or bird, the great eagle leaned forward and was swept upward, higher and higher, lost to the sight in the brightness of the rising sun, never again to live among the chickens. Okay, so what message does the folktale express through the actions of the characters and the events? Okay, so I would probably need to clarify the reading before I answered that question, so I would go back and reread that page before I even answered. Okay? All right, so how does the message of the folktale express through the actions of the characters and the events? Well, I think the folktale expresses the idea that we all have a true nature. Okay, so the eagle was trained to act like a chicken, but it really wasn't a chicken. So the friend taking the eagle and giving it one last chance to get back into the sky was speaking to the eagle's true nature, where it really belonged. So the folk tale expresses the idea that we all have a true nature and that we just need to find that nature to soar. And that would be in quotes, like to live to our best self. If we really know ourselves, we can be our best by simply being who we are and doing what we do. What does the friend tell the eagle about the sun? I really like that part because I can envision the sun rising, and where he said it gives new life. It gives life to the world. Like after the nighttime and the sun gets into the sky and it makes everything bright and you can see, and it just makes you feel happy. So he says the sun gives life and lights each day. He tells the eagle to rise with the rising sun. So what unique behaviors of animals such as eagles and chickens did we learn about? Now, same animal, they're both birds, but chickens stay on the ground, peck, feed, walk around, cluck, talk a certain way, where eagles take to the sky and they fly and they soar and they build up high their nests and everything. So very same animal, but very different behaviors. All right, boys and girls, that concludes our story for today. I hope you did some really good thinking and got some clarification about some of the texts that we were reading. And we will be going on to some more activities with this story and your vocabulary and spelling words this week.